Chapter 16, Economic Liberalization and Globalization. So when our country became independent, we used a planning method to achieve speedy economic development. Which method was used? Planning method was used. So that other countries were also developing very speedily. So by saying that, we also started using the planning method. And planning method means every 5 year a plan is made by prime minister, that is known as a 5 year plan, and accordingly uh, in that plan each and every aspect is discussed and accordingly implemented. So in this, monetary policy that is related with money, fiscal policy related with tax, and industrial policy related with industries were announced. But then too, it did not bring much economic development. Did not took place as it should take place. So therefore, government thought that what are the failures? What is the reason behind this failure? And then the rectification was made, and so we can say a new industrial policy was adopted. Industrial policy was there before also, along with monetary policy, fiscal policy, but old industrial policy failed. So after find outing the failures, reason for the failures, a new industrial policy was started, and it was started in 1991, in which we can see three things: one, liberalization; second, privatization; and third, globalization. So first we will know what is liberalization. Liberalization means whatever restrictions were there on industries, whatever restrictions were there on private sector, they all were reduced. So simple definition of liberalization means reducing the restriction and control imposed on private sector. This is liberalization, means freedom for private sector. Which are the aspects involved in it? So first, there were reservation of 18 industries only, and industries other than 18, they all have to take the government permission before, but now it is not like that according to new industrial policy. So other than railway, atomic energy, and defense, other than these three things, all are open for the private sector. Next, before it was a compulsory registration of industries was there. So now, according to new industrial policy, even the compulsory registration is removed. And the industries which do not make pollution, so their permission is not required. Simple thing. If industries are causing the pollution, those industries which are causing pollution, they have to take the government permission. Otherwise, there is no need to take the government permission. So this is steps for economic liberalization. Now, what benefit we achieved after implementing the liberalization? What are the benefits? So first, as a result of liberalization, now private sector got an opportunity that they can make unconstrained development, unlimited development. So because of liberalization, now private sector started making the development, and because of which it increased the production. When the production started increasing, the global trade was also encouraged. Means now the private sector is able to produce the goods needed for our country, plus it can export. Once the exported started, foreign exchange came. Now the reserve of the foreign exchange increase, and if a trade has to be international trade, then definitely the basic facility, that is infrastructure facility, should be also developed. So due to liberalization, first point, production increase; second point, international trade took place; third point, foreign exchange increased; and fourth point, because of this, the infrastructure facility, that is basic facilities like transport, communication, insurance, they also has increased. Next, but what is a minus point? Because of liberalization, what is a minus point? So even many restrictions were removed on private sector, still the monopoly, the government could not control the monopoly. Next, as only industrial sector was given importance, agricultural sector was neglected. This is a minus point. Next, as the industrial sector developed, the money was in the hand of the owners and industrialists, whereas the workers were not paid properly. Because of this, disparity, that is inequality of income, increased. And last is due to the industrial sector, mostly we are importing the goods like certain machines, and exports are reduced because agriculture sector is not, our is an agriculture country. So definitely what we will export agricultural goods, but due to industrial policy agriculture was not given importance. So import increased, export decreased, and foreign debt, that is curse, it also increased. Next, privatization. Privatization means simple, the government industries which are suffering through loss, they are converted into private. Means it is a process in which the ownership and management of industrial units, actually it is government sector unit, but they are suffering loss. Because of this, what happened, it is being handed over to the private sector, and this process is known as a privatization. So what are the method of privatization? So they are those areas which were first reserved only for public sector, now it has opened for private sector. Two things are there, ownership and management. Second point is not confusing, see, understand. Sometimes what happens, this public sector keep ownership with themselves and give away the management. Sometimes what happens, they keep the management with themselves and give the ownership. And third point, that they give ownership and management both directly, the total conversion of the public sector take place. So that is a privatization. So what is the benefit we achieve? Benefit is in the production increased because now private sector started working. Production has been increased in capital intensive, means in industrial products. It was not labor intensive. Labor intensive means where labor is employed. Here the labor is not employed. Here the machines are kept. Machines are giving the production. When machines are giving the production, it is known as a capital intensive. When labors are involved in the production, it is known as a labor intensive. Now advantages, it is increased capital intensive, and even the consumable goods also increased, like biscuit, bread, shirt, toothpaste, soap, these all are consumable goods. Next, private sector. Because of privatization, what happened, the public sector which was suffering loss, now they have also improved. This is the advantages. And what about the disadvantage? Same thing, when a privatization increase, money is in the hand of the owner, and because of that, economic power is in the hand of a is being centralized. Next, cottage industry is not given importance over here, only large scale industries are there. Now when the role of privatization started, the price is not constant due to the profit, because they want profit. Many times they increase the prices of the product according to their wish. So this is a minus point, that the prices have increased, cottage industries have not developed, and money is in the hand of the only owner. And third aspect is globalization. Globalization means connecting our country with world economy. Means now not only India is a market, but we should keep in mind the whole world is a market, where easily there is a flow of goods, services, technology, and even the labor. That is a globalization, means connecting our economy with the world economy. So what are the steps? So whatever the obstacles were there before between the two nations regarding the trade, it was removed. Easily there was a transformation, easily there is a transfer of labor, easily there is a transfer of goods, easily there is a transfer of technology. So these are completed in this points. Next, now what happened due to effects of globalization? What is a plus point? Plus point means because of globalization, now we are able to invest in other country, like that only they can come and invest in our country. So that is foreign direct investment increased. Next, goods produced in the developed countries, now because foreign countries are coming in our country and doing the production, because of this the foreign goods are now available in our market. And because of globalization, we get an opportunity that we can stand with the developed countries also, we can compete with the developed countries also. So that is a plus point of globalization. But what is a minus point? Minus point is that because of this, what happens, still we cannot say the problem of poverty has reduced. poverty is going on, unemployment is also going on. So with the help of this globalization, we cannot say that unemployment has reduced. Another thing, here what happened, two countries are there, developed countries and developing countries. But in globalization, what happened, that developed countries are getting more benefit than developing countries. And even the large scale industries, they are getting more benefit. Small scale industries are getting less benefit, because large scale industry are investing more, getting more profit. Small scale industries are investing less, and many times they are not able to withstand with the foreign goods. Foreign goods, sometimes what happen, they are cheap than the goods which are available in the Indian market. So this is a disadvantages.